All right, I can go ahead and call the meeting to order of the Horns Committee. And my e-scribe is not working, so I don't have access to the agenda.
I can put it in the chat, but I think we just have approval of minutes and then
Okay,
one item. So
so Councilmember Murillo, you had a chance to look over the minutes.
Yeah, no changes for me.
All right, none from me. So minutes are approved. And then the first agenda item. Let's see.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for inviting me out to chat about our neighborhood improvement grants, give you a brief update on that. Let me go ahead and I will share my screen here. All right, let me know if you can't see that. But as I mentioned, my name is Scott Campbell. I'm one of the community engagement coordinators here in Housing and Community Services, and I'm here to give you all an update on our 2024 neighborhood improvement grants. So just for a brief overview, there we go. Why is it not changing? Sorry. There we go. Okay, so just for a brief overview and a reminder, so City Council is gracious enough every year to give us $60,000 for this program. We allocate up to $5,000 per project. And generally the goals of the program you can see there, but just to kind of encapsulate them in a nutshell, we kind of look at two things. One is that beautification aspect, and the other is kind of bringing neighbors together. So a lot of these projects you'll see have that kind of common benefit element there. We do require the active involvement of at least 3 residents from 3 separate households in each neighborhood or group that comes to us. And then those residents register as the program coordinators. But of course, the more residents that participate, the more success that these projects typically have. Of course, we also allow neighborhood organizations to apply where we don't necessarily have those HOAs. And we also work with our code enforcement officers and city leaders to help identify neighborhoods that may benefit from this program. So this year in particular, we were fortunate enough to get in 14 applications, and we were also able to award all of those 14 applicants some amount of funding. Right there, you can see the breakdown by ward. So we did get participation from every ward, which is fantastic. We love to see that come in. And then finally here is kind of the very brief breakdown of each program or project type that came in. We had a really wide variety this year. We did get, of course, kind of our regular landscaping projects you can see there. We got a number of what we call kind of dump day or cleanup projects, which is where either neighborhoods kind of rent those long dumpsters or the compactor trucks and allow people to dispose of bulky waste. And they usually tie in other pieces to that, like document shredding, e-recycling, that sort of thing. But we also got some really interesting ones. My favorite one this year is actually out of Sterling Hills, the installation of a little free library. One of the youth out there got it in their mind that they really wanted to get a little free library in the neighborhood. And kind of became obsessed with the idea a little bit, presented it to their HOA, and we were able to help them make it happen with this funding. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions y'all might have about the program or any of the projects.
All right, Councilmember Murillo, any questions?
And for that unmute button. Okay. No questions. Excited that there's, funding from all of the different wards, although I see just one from Ward 1. I'd love to hear any thoughts on how other communities approach this, so that we can maybe get some more participation from the Ward 1 area. Otherwise, I'm excited to see that, that we were able to fund all of this wide variety of projects. I'm happy we allocate budget towards it every year.
Yeah, I can certainly speak to kind of our efforts to drum up some more interest in the various wards. A big piece of this is tied to our neighborhood registration process. Historically, we've had almost not a lot of variety in terms of groups up in Northwest Aurora, but that's kind of changing with our new system and with our new processes. We're working a lot with the library as people try to reserve space there there for free. Part of that is having to be registered with us. So we're getting a lot more groups coming to us now from that. And in fact, I think I just had 2 yesterday from Ward 1 that we were able to get registered with us. So I think with kind of all of those efforts kind of pointing back towards the registration program, meaning all of our grants and kind of the other incentives we offer, such as the free use of those library spaces, I think we'll continue to get more groups in and hopefully drive up those numbers from Ward 1.
All right.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to add real quickly, so the overall beautification program, we're working on how to integrate this program with that and hopefully augment this a little bit as well by being able to have some additional funding for people to participate in these programs.
Great. Yeah, I don't have any questions either. I'm glad to see that, at least in my ward, there's quite a few of them going on, and some of those areas I know pretty well that have had issues. So I'm glad to see that they're reaching out and utilizing the resources to help their communities. But yeah, other than that, thank you much.
Thank you.
And is that the last piece?
Yeah, that was our only item for this morning. And the only other thing I wanted to just bring to the committee is any other topics. We have a few others that are routine things that will come forward this fall. But if there was anything else, I know we had a conversation with Councilmember Coombs about the occupancy code changes at the state level, and we are working through that piece with updating both the UDO and then the municipal code for the different things that were passed with the state, as well as some of the other things planning's working on with changes to the UDO to help facilitate additional housing options and affordable housing. So the plan was to bring that to both PED and this committee in the next few months. But if there's other items, just kind of that mid-year check-in, we didn't have a meeting in June. So if there's other items, let us know now, or just as a follow-up, happy to bring forward any updates or other topics.
Councilmember Coombs, Murillo, I mean, do you have any area topics?
No topics at this time.
All right, thank you. I might just ask, if you could maybe from code send me a proposal about, I know the budget's tight, see what the cost would be to have some more code enforcement officers. So I'm just curious about what that cost would be.
Hey, Councilmember Medina, I'll get that forwarded over
Right.
to you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
We just updated it for the 2025 budget process, so we do have that information.
Good, thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
All right, I guess with that, we will adjourn. If there's no other questions. Thank you all.